Right, Kevin, we just finished chapter 2, basically, where we met Bond, the new aspiration. Here he is up here, Bond. The name's Bond. Right, and we didn't really, what did we do? We basically went up through and ended up, the whole chapter was about Laszlo, essentially. And we basically followed, we've just let him speak, really. There was other things where we could lead him down a path. We could lead him to talk about, was it Ursula or not MK Dons, Mono Concern, what they're called. And then basically, long story short is we let him just speak how he wanted. We let him just say what he wanted. And it meant that we ended up going with Bliss. So we got loads of Bliss crystals. We've got 8 in total. I don't know how they can transfer through to the main overarching story now somehow. But I don't understand how that works yet. We've got 8 of 13. So because of the choices you made when dealing with Laszlo, you've made great progress towards an outcome. You chose the path laid out before you by an aspiration, but the future might still be in your hands. Outcomes will have greater consequences than objectives, alright? Will you stay on the same path, or would you rather change the course of the future? Well, there we go, yeah. We've gone this way now. We could have gone this way, I think, but we haven't. So, kind of feeds into it. So, yeah, so basically, we'll have to see. So, who knows what we'll do? I don't know what we'll do. I assume we have to be able to make the choice at some point. But anyway, Laszlo finally talks to Nora. We did that. That's kind of been done now. So, we're now on chapter 3. Trusted hands, it says. Trusted hands. Very warm there. In the UK, I've got a nice iced drink. It's a Pepsi Max. Nothing stronger. So here we go. So look, cool. What's this? We've got look at goodness me. This is a big one. Right. So Laszlo's backup plan: lose 1 power crystal, lose 1 bond crystal. How's it? Okay. Do we have to do that, or do we just? No. Okay. Yeah. Looks like we can jump. Nora to at normal, so we can jump all the way up there. 1 power crystal, so we can do power a bond, or we go for all this story. Laszlo's backup plan. Ursula and MK, Jade's personal issues. Who's Jade? Have we met Jade yet? All right. Well, I think what we need to do is we need to start, don't we? So let's find out. Trusted hands. I knew I could trust Nora and Laszlo to find a lead. So let's get the context, shall we? I think that's what we need. Polly's room in the Nereids, whatever it's called. All right. Okay, a new day dawns. Consciousness returns slowly, and as I open my eyes, they feel like hot marbles rolling in their sockets. So we got some kind of new thing. The shed. Oh, this isn't the Naids. Originally built as an elevator to bring materials to the Naids. Okay, the building has endured. All right. I don't get that Naid. I mean, it's just an indoor swimming pool, I think. I don't know where the... Anyway. The structure's changed a lot over the years, going from a simple shack to a proper house. It is infamous for being a potential hazard, extending over the sea unlike any other buildings on Athena. But it somehow became part of local folklore. Eventually, City Council gave up trying to close it down. To this day, it is one of Alma's quirkiest sites. Oh, was that the mini city, Alma? All right. All right. Yesterday was more intense than I'd imagined. Reconnecting with Laszlo took an emotional toll I'm not sure either of us was ready for. I was expecting more words there. All right, yeah, okay. So I have no idea how this is. Where's the Nereids? I don't know. Anyway, all right. I check the clock. Past 10. Late. 5 more minutes won't hurt. I always say that. But as my eyes close, there's a flicker and I'm back in reverie. I open them and I'm at home in bed. This is becoming intolerable. I wait a few moments to see if the sensation returns, but it leaves me be for now. Time to get up. All right. All right. The oven is in the night.
Are you sure you saw it in here?
You sure you saw it in here?
Yes, it was by the sink. I was listening to my podcast.
All right.
Researching about the Oxyons, are you?
I'm sure there's a connection between them and Ursula and... Oh! Morning, sleepyhead.
The Oxyons, eh? That's some kind of conspiracy theory nonsense, or is it going to give us a codex entry? It looks like the two of them have been up for a while. For Laszlo, that's not a surprise, but Nora is usually a night owl. Breakfast is all laid out. Banana crepes, hazelnut and sesame paste, fresh mango, my favourites.
How are you two this awake already?
Already? It's nearly lunch.
Grandpa, tell her.
Something's happened.
Tell me what?
No, you do it.
We have a lead. On Ursula.
Alright. Alright, so here's our first choice. The next node's barrier, the crown, was removed after you reached the last chapter's objective. The other is forever inaccessible to you. Alright, so we can't go left. You might not see the consequences of an objective node until much later in the story. Alright, so we can't actually go this way. I think. So we can't go that way. So it's teaching us that sometimes there's far-reaching consequences. Someone in the crowd. Reaching out might be the helpful next time. I can show you the way. So we have to go this way, which is a power way. It may not seem like much, but Laszlo and I have been doing research together all morning. Reaching out might be helpful next time. I can show you the way. I see how much, but Laszlo knows. So bringing them closer together. I don't know what would be going on here. I think we just would have seen someone in the crowd, maybe like Ursula. Alright, well, they've been doing research. Laszlo talked to know about their financial situation. Laszlo spoke openly about Ursula's disappearance. Right, so they're kind of bonding together. Ironically, Bond is the other way, whereas in this way, Nora and Laszlo are bonding together. So Bond's a big fat load of nonsense, isn't he? Just I mean, he's meant to. Well, he's called Bond, but we've gone without him, and the characters are bonding. So make of that what you will. All right, so we gain a power crystal. It takes a few seconds for our minds to adjust to what I just heard. Laszlo, Nora and I stayed up late chatting, just the three of us. And here I am feeling hungover after only a few drinks. Oh, to be 20 again.
I just remembered something. A girl who used to come here often before Ursula disappeared.
Just noticed for some reason he's got like a yellow inner glow on the left side of his body for some reason. I don't know why that is. Meant to be the sunlight.
She came to meet with Ursula. Several times, in fact. I asked who she was, and your mother said she was a journalist, interested in publishing some of her poems.
This will be that other woman, Lara, was it?
Which is weird. Nobody publishes poetry nowadays.
I have to admit that Ursula hasn't sold a single text in decades.
I asked who she was, and your mother said she was a journalist interested in publishing some of her poems. Which is weird, nobody publishes poetry nowadays. I have to admit Ursula hasn't sold a single text in decades.
Poetry's dead, I guess.
Anyway, I didn't push it. Assumed your mother would tell me the truth when she was ready. But then...
And she disappeared off the face of the earth.
I mentioned her to Nora, but...
I don't follow the magazines around here. Not a big reader, unfortunately.
So you got like a white outer glow, the active person, and you have like a yellow inner glow on the left-hand side of them.
But something about her sounded familiar, you know? Grandpa actually gave a pretty detailed description.
She's pretty memorable.
At first, I was a bit puzzled, and then I remembered who it might be. Jade.
Jade, alright.
Okay.
Jade. Jade Galea?
Galea.
I'm a little behind on Atenan politics, Nora.
Okay, fine. She's quite famous around here. She's organised a lot of protests.
Something is shining in her eyes. A sense of joy, excitement. Not sure exactly what, but it's nice to see.
I follow her on all the socials. We've never talked as such, but we have a bunch of mutuals. I sent her a message this morning, but no reply. But my friends, her friends, they'll know where she is, for sure.
She's also the editor of a local magazine, probably where she was going to publish the poems.
Alright, okay.
There's only one printer like that on Athena. The rest is controlled by MK. We could check there, see if they know where we could find her.
We've got options. That's a good start. A really good start. So we can either go to MK or not. Causality. The lock symbol indicates that the node is locked. So you need to reach the key that opens it. Seek for key icons on the augural. Select the node you want to play to find its key on the augural. Alright, so there. So, Jade's personal issues. So we could investigate Jade. Or we can Ursula and MK. That's those backup plan. But there is all these things up here, isn't there? Wasn't there some like really long... You can go here and just completely miss half of this out, it looks like. Or maybe that doesn't miss it out. Maybe it just opens it. Or allows you to see it. Oh dear. Well, this is quite convoluted now, this, isn't it? I don't really know what's... So we either explore the printing room. An underground printing room sounds quite cool. Or find Jade's friends. Don't have trouble asking them for info. That's kind of the Bond way, I think. Let's put the printing room. Have a power crystal. Tell Nora to be assertive. Tell Nora to act natural. More about Jade. We're kind of just going on the Jade route here, aren't we? Jade's personal issues. Laszlo's backup. So either way, we do end up here, but there's things that could be... There's two ways, isn't there, here? We kind of look like we end up going one way or the other. Multiple decisions that way. Printer room. Do we go for the printer room or do we ask Jade? Laszlo knows there's a printer. Or we can just mope about. One power crystal gained. Nose crystals make you lose crystals when you reach them. This node will make you lose one bond crystal, one power crystal. For the printing room. Have a bond crystal. Well, we don't have a bond crystal. It is shaping our way going down this way, isn't it? To be honest with you, I don't know if we've bothered about this Jade person. I don't like the idea of all this nonsense with social media and stuff. You know, Laszlo just knows there's been prints, so I'm just going to go this way. Explore the printing room. Business contacts are more likely to have forwarding addresses and such. I'd decide to focus on the other lead.
Let's check the printers.
All right. I'll get my keys and we'll head out.
Let's check the printers.
Let's go.
All right. We're going printing. Castelli Road. There's some air conditioning there. This place is a fire. It's a ramshackle house that, for all intents and purposes, appears to be abandoned. Still, when we rap on the door, someone opens up. Someone who is most certainly not happy to see us. She looks about my age. As soon as Laszlo mentions Jade, she jams a finger to her lips and points to the sky. Several drones hover over the streets searching for something. We're just on patrol. Right, Nora and I nod and stroll our way down the street. Let's have a look. It's MK delivery drones. They're meant to be Amazon, basically. Drones have been used by mono concerns since the 2020s and are the future of business to business and business to customer. These multi-purpose machines have seamlessly replaced cars and trucks on Latina. With thousands of units in flight today, drones are now an integral part of life on Latina, an omnipresent sight that buzzes night and day. They help workers with their daily tasks. Their cameras and microphones are concerned to monitor the well-being of the people of Latina and deliver crucial messages in case of emergency. Go drones! Alright. As soon as drones move on, Laszlo disappears inside.
Any idea what this Jade might have wanted with Ursula?
Is that suspicion I detect?
Come on. It's a little weird, right? A stranger at the Naiads. A
Naiads.
journalist, of all things. And then my mother disappears.
If it were anyone else, yeah, sus. But this is Jade. She's got to be the most active activist on the island. Plus, she has, like, moral scruples.
Is it just me? Is Nora starting to sound like Jade's #1 fan? Yes.
I've got a good feeling about this. About Jade.
That's why one reason I wasn't bothered about going along that way. I thought I don't want to be hearing all this nonsense with social media stuff.
If we find her, she'll help if she can. I know it.
Alright. Well, I'm not convinced, but let's go for it. Laszlo emerges from the house and strides over, a big grin on his face. What's he found? A printer? Right, so something's happened. Right, so we have to have a power crystal. Laszlo has more information about Jade. Power. Nora and Laszlo told you about the threat this company poses. I have one power crystal. Ask about the printing room. Well, I guess we do this one because we can. I don't think there's a reason not to, but maybe there is. This all feels a little clandestine, almost cloak and dagger stuff.
What was up with the stealth tactics? Isn't that place just a print shop?
Yes and no.
Very insightful.
Print's the only way to stay off grid these days. Anything online is monitored by MK.
Even text messages. Regular at the bar sent one to his friend, joking about bombing the station if his train was late. Same evening, couple of goons dragged him off for interrogation. 17 hours they kept him.
Thank you.
No. Surely that's illegal.
Sure, if you don't own the police, what's left of the police.
MK could shut that place down right now if they even suspected they were printing inappropriate material.
Well, it's not been very hard for us to find it, has it? I mean, we literally woke up this morning and we found the place.
I don't think there's anything more inappropriate than Jade's stuff. Just last month, she had a big piece on the water networks. How MK was planning on dumping raw sewage where it contaminates the supply and adding a surcharge to clean it. It was all over the socials. MK dropped the whole thing. All because of Jade.
Dumping raw sewage where it contains water supply and surcharge to clean it. Right. Impressive, but now I'm realising that I'm absolutely out of the loop about Athena. Whatever's happening here has never reached my ears.
I remember that story. But they caught the guy and fired him, right?
Well,
Jade's been proving that MK is using scapegoats to make it look like they're improving. The culprit goes live, apologizes, cries, and nothing changes.
That's a fucked up system.
Laszlo keeps throwing glances at the print shop and shifting on his feet. Then he points to a direction above my shoulder.
So, we're going this way.
There are similar things in the UK regarding dumping sewage in rivers and things.
Where to?
The skate park. That's where Jade is going to be.
So why did we come here? Nora and I stop.
You know where she is?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
the owner told me. I smiled, and she gave me the info.
Okay. Laszlo, you devil. Right, well, there we go. That's a power token. Alright, so we think we've opened a thing, but that should have given us the... Should we be able to see? Thought we'd unlock something from here. Okay, yeah, so we can see it. Have a bliss crystal. Talk about printing posters. That allows us to see these, does it? Oh no, it means we can't. Oof. Complicated, right? Okay, and then we've got our free bond crystals, our free bliss crystals, our free power crystals. It looks like we're aiming up this way, doesn't it, really? Either way, we've got to do this one. What is it about? What's the connection to Ursula? Jade's investigation. Unlock Ursula MK. We're walking through the streets, Lazarus in front, a smile on his face, no eye behind, trying to keep up with him. I kind of feel like I'm just going with it here. I'm not really... It's all been kind of done for me because of the last level. I got that start that said you can't go this way. So I went the other way, gave me a power crystal. So I've kind of gone the power way, really. Although I guess I didn't go the other way because of not really wanting to go down this social media route. It just sounded like a really spurious nonsense, really. So I guess there was that, really. I guess there was that.
So, did the owner know what Jade was working on? Might have something to do with why she was talking to Ursula.
She said, far as she could tell, Jade was on a big MK investigation. Something to do with a public health program? No specifics, though. Jade hadn't delivered the copy.
Nora almost shudders.
Nothing that could go wrong there.
Doesn't sound like anything Ursula would have a hand in.
I can sense something surrounding us, like a warm blanket. It's one of the aspirations trying to reach me. Power. When I try to focus on it, it disappears. Well, we don't know. Maybe it's Ursula. Right, you have unlocked this node. You can access it normally. Right, but the other one's still locked, presumably. Alright, so that's just what we've done. Well, we've got no choice. Ursula MK. Lazarus seems to have something from Ursula's past. There's a shared charge between us, unconscious but evidence. Each of us is looking out over our shoulder. Or looking over our shoulder. Start again. Each of us is looking over our shoulders more, checking the skies for drones, our surroundings for eavesdroppers. Like a spy. On my own island.
Doesn't surprise me that your mother might be involved in something to do with that bloody company.
No, me neither. Remember those papers she wrote when I was a kid? MK didn't like those at all.
Ursula was protesting MK.
Not directly. Her work was all about ancient history, historical accounts, Oxyon stuff.
You mentioned Oxyon before, didn't it?
MK didn't like any of that. But it was a very different beast back then. Barely a pop.
Either way, she was no fan of monoconcern, or what it was doing to Atina. Her and Jade teaming up to take them down. Yeah, I can see that.
How can you see that? You don't know who this Jade is? Well, I guess you know she's a protester.
But without telling us? Your mother is a secretive person, sure, but she would have said something.
I turn to Nora. She looks like she agrees. Alright. Well, we lose some tokens now. We lose a power token. We lose a bond crystal. Alright. I guess... Right, I don't think there's any way to have any other crystal when we got here, so it just looks like it just wants us to remove these crystals. Okay, it's very weird this. Lazarus' backup plan. Maybe risky, but it could work. I don't know what that means, but okay, we somehow got power on our side maybe. This is quite nice here. Head to the skatepark. The streets are quieter now. With rush hour long since over. Is that the shed there, dangling over the cliff? I thought it was next to the water previously, but oh well. A stray dog trots alongside us for a moment, sniffs my hand and wanders off. We see the skate park on the screen. Can't see anything obvious. Could be that in the middle there maybe. No, I don't think it is. I don't know. Jade is a long shot, but she's our only shot. Besides, Lazarus claims he has a plan.
Alright, out with it then.
Alright.
Posters.
Posters. Of Ursula.
Exactly.
Dear God, I mean, we've kind of we've done. I mean, we're going around doing all this crazy stuff as if we're doing some big plan. He's just putting missing posters out there.
Look, your mother may not be the best-known woman on this island, but she has connections.
It's just quite underwhelming. We're doing all this messing about, and his plan is just to put missing posters up. I mean, he could have done that without doing anything.
Naiads is basically a community center, and everyone at the bar knows her. We get her face up everywhere, tell people to contact us. We're bound to get something back.
Nora and I share a glance. This feels good. It could work. I mean, I just. But why do we need to go through all of we've done to come to that? That's just something you would do regardless of anything.
And if we do find this Jade, well, we could run an ad in that magazine of hers.
I mean, that's something, but you could have done that anyway.
Use her network to spread the word even further.
Exactly.
That sounds like a pretty good way to piss off MK.
Why? Why is it? You're just using a. Why would they care?
Yeah. But Jade's our best chance. If we get close to her, we get closer to MK as well.
Why are we bothered about getting close to them? Why? It makes no sense at all. Well, I guess Ursula and Jade were potentially working together on some kind of thing against them. But I don't know. It seems rather spurious, all this. The more we learn, the more Ursa's disappearance becomes shrouded in mystery. Well, why? Not really. Was it really just up politics? She's getting herself into something she couldn't get out of? We don't know. We have no clue. You just knew this Jade person. That's it. And is it creating a public scandal really the best way to find our answers? Why are we creating a public scandal? Local poet disappears. MK does nothing. Wait, you didn't say that before. You just said you're putting up Mr. Missing posters, not saying local poet disappears, MK does nothing. They won't say or do anything. They're already getting away with that. With much worse. Where's Bliss appeared from nowhere?
You're getting closer, right? You're making moves.
No clue. No, I don't. Apparently. Yes, maybe no one else are right. Maybe this will work out.
Keep that momentum going. Reverie still needs you.
Bliss suddenly becomes absorbed in a handheld console, focused on mashing two specific buttons as fast as possible, playing a racing game. The glimpse of her undivided concentration is impressive, but it doesn't seem to be going as she planned.
No! Ugh. Can you try to wrap it up before I rage quit this game?
Bliss must know that I can't answer right now.
Also, you didn't hear this from me, but Power's getting all ceremonial about the truth situation.
We need truth, don't we? You mentioned that a couple of times now. I'd like to ask what that even means, but I can't. And anyway, she's already gone. Right, so, Jade. When we get to skatepark, how should we approach her? Goodness me. Alright. Well, have a bliss crystal. We haven't got any. Conditions. Have a bliss crystal. This node is inevitable. It must be played to unlock the other nodes. So we have to go... Keep it straightforward. She may take me more seriously. Unlock, take the lead. So I guess we go up to the right first. Is that what it's trying to say? I've no clue on the ordering of this. Have a bliss crystal. We can't possibly have a bliss crystal without going up here. Keep it straightforward. Try to befriend Jade. She might be inclined to open up. I don't like the idea of that at all. I think she's just going to be a straightforward person. We're going down the power route there, I think. Gain a power crystal. I'm going to go this way. Just keep it straightforward. I know I could look all the rest of what's going on, but I don't think it's worth it. Amadios skate park? Amadios? Is that oh my god? We arrive at the skate park and my heart sinks. It's deserted, not a soul in sight. Well, we had a ridiculously spurious idea of her being here. Just Laszlo said she would be. Mind you, I think he did ask that person. Okay, maybe. Amadios skate park was, oh my god, basically. It was built decades ago and is the only park of its kind in the teen. It's always been and still is a place of joy for Alma's youth. In the mid-90s, or the mid-10s rather, Monoconcern tried to buy this aging piece of architecture with the municipality, offering to modernise the facilities. When this offer was met with contempt by the local community, the corporation eventually agreed to leave it untouched. Since this unfortunate incident, Amadios has become a symbol of anti-mono concern activism. Right. I'm about to suggest we come back later when I hear a squeak from Nora. I've been reading Wheel of Time by Robert Jordan, and characters always squeaking that. It's Jade emerging from behind her half pipe. She's strange to me, but there's no mistaking that posture. She looks exhausted. Simple and to the point. That's the way to do this.
Ah, Jade?
The young woman's guard is immediately up. No doubt she's used to being recognised and suspicious of whom we might be.
Can I help you?
Okay, who can I help you?
This is Nora and Laszlo. I'm Polly, Ursula's daughter. From the Naiads. My mother is missing, and we were wondering if you could help us.
The young woman says nothing. Her face is shut down. Is this shock?
We know you visited her a few times at home before she disappeared.
Well, she could be assessing us, trying to judge whether or not we're for real.
We were just wondering if you could tell us what you talked about. If it involved monoconzern at all.
Jade remains silent. Suddenly she turns her head and looks at me straight in the eye.
When did she disappear exactly? What was she like the day before? Was she acting strange?
This isn't the passionate Jade I've heard about. She feels cold, analytical. We've got some Jade here, okay. Born September the 15th, 2008. Studied literature but dropped out. Mother from Malta and father from Matina. Estranged. Raised by a mother. Got good grades until she dropped out of school. No stable income. Writes articles for various independent publications on an irregular basis. Refused offers to join Monoconcern's open employment workshops. The opposite of the energy-driven fire starter I'd imagined.
Look, I'm sorry to press you on this. I really am, but we really need to know if you two were planning anything beyond the poetry.
She moves closer and she's still not answering.
Who's the last person who saw her?
For a moment I don't know what to do. But she must be asking these questions for a reason, same as us. Perhaps I need to listen to her, hear her out. Alright, well, we can go that way. Blocked inevitable nodes. The inevitable node is only active when all its conditions are cleared. This one will only activate if you collect a bliss crystal. Right. We're better try and keep everyone happy. Nora gets impatient. Got two options here. We could get a bliss crystal. Answer Jade's questions. Bliss, wait. You must have a reason for doing this. Power. Laszlo will do it politely enough. Get Laszlo to do something. So we came here before. Laszlo's backup plan. Alright, just see what he wrote last time. Alright, all this nonsense. Okay, so we just want to know what Laszlo said, really. But she has connections. Alright, so we could let Laszlo sort this. Asking us these questions. I mean, we gain 2 bliss crystals. So, alright, so we could do this, and that would allow us to go down that way. Nora gets impatient. Nora's going to get impatient if we go down that route. That would open all this stuff up. Nora could start doing stuff. So basically we could go the bliss route, Nora get impatient, so then we could go that route. We could still go trust Jade. Not by trying to befriend her. Going to ask Jade to use her network. Talk about printing posters. We need a bliss crystal for that one. Revoke 2 nodes. Talk about printing posters. We could then go back down there. So if we go down that route, trust her. Alright, well I think, you know what, let's get Laszlo. Let's just get him to sort it. Come on Laszlo, sort her out. Jade's firing a non-stop barrage of questions at me. It's overwhelming, I can't even listen as they fly past. I don't know what to do, I feel panic going below my stomach.
Pardon me, Miss Jade.
That's it, Laszlo, sort her out.
I'm wondering if you could, pause the questions for a moment, please?
Go Laszlo. Thank goodness for Laszlo. Jade falls silent, takes a step back, arms still folded across her chest. Not hostile, but not open either.
More than happy to talk to you, but we need some context first.
Well done, it's like Laszlo on the skate park down there.
For example, were you interviewing Ursula at the Naiads?
Yes, I can tell you that much, I guess.
Well, she's gone missing. We're trying to find where she is. You know, you're not. You know, we're the ones asking the questions.
Okay. Great. Now we're getting somewhere. We were really wondering if you could help us spread the word through your magazine. Get the word out that she's missing.
I'm sorry, Laszlo, was it? I really don't think that's a good idea.
I'm inclined to agree with Jade. Make lots of noise about the whole situation, but it's a recipe for attention from MK. Attention we absolutely do not want. Nora's suspiciously quiet, her face turned down and frowning. I suspect she's disappointed at real Jade's behaviour and the disparities between person and persona.
We know you're busy. We've seen your stuff. The anti-MK stuff. We're on board with that. Believe us. And we know how hard it must be. Fighting the good fight. But if you can spare us even a little time to help us find my mother, well...
I've not really grasped why we're here with this woman at all. She's just some activist, but I don't know. Well, I guess the one thing is she spoke to your mum at some point. That's all we need to be asking about, really. I just don't... We've got no other reason, really. So I know you got this magazine, but really, she spoke to your mum the day before she disappeared. That's the important part, not putting posters in the paper, surely.
It would mean a lot. To all of us.
The exhaustion radiated from the young woman before us is becoming increasingly apparent. Her shoulders sag and she lifts her palms to her brow, rubbing life back into her face. She almost looks ashamed.
What did you have in mind?
She's a beaten woman. Maybe we shouldn't trust her. Maybe she's already been compromised. And maybe that's why Ursula's disappeared. What do you have in mind? Trust Jade. Wait until she's done. She'll be grateful you did. Nora gets impatient. We better try and keep everyone happy. I think I'm not going to trust this Jade. I don't trust her for some reason. I think she's been compromised. For what it's worth. Power enough. Don't let her trample over you. Let's just go with it. I tried to go first to focus on my goal.
We really need to know why you were talking to Ursula.
Exactly, yes, that's my point.
She told us you were interested in publishing her poetry, but given all that's happened, well, I don't think that's the half of it.
I catch Nora glance over her, her eyes blurring. Did I overstep the mark? She's about to question our new friend here. Was she about to question our new friend here?
Fine. I was doing another investigation into MK, and Ursula was helping. We believe the company was dipping its toes into medical care, or a public health program. A couple of neighborhood kids said an MK agent had offered them coupons and free samples. Said it was to test a new product line. They call it egregore.
Oh.
They claimed
She sighs, rubs her
it
forehead.
was going to help them with exams, stress, clarity of mind and all that.
Clarity of mind. Egregore. That feels like something out of Reverie, honestly. Well, it is. It is something out of Reverie. I mean, you're pumping it there. That's your job. But how?
That's all I know.
So for those of you who don't remember, the egregores, the stuff that Reverie feeds off of, that's basically drained from this world and taken into the other world. So let's I don't know. It could be some aspiration that's running MK. There's some issue. I don't know what's going on. There could be some possibilities here. Some kind of other link to Reverie in this world that's causing problems. And it could be your mum found that out, or it could be, well, that might be the reason why the egregor was drying up. Could be there's another aspiration involved with it. All these things probably is the case as well, I reckon. I know I should turn to Ursula.
Wait. You contacted my mother because of her work on the Oxyons, on the history of Athena, right?
Has Oxyon's been mentioned? I've missed that if that's been mentioned somewhere. We've heard it twice today, but I don't. We see the code. Oxyons. Is Oxyons around? Mythology. There's nothing about Oxyons here. Right. Unless it's in one of the texts somewhere, but.
I only stumbled across them by chance. Sounds like MK tried to have them burned. But a few copies survived.
Do they work on the Oxyons?
They were the only other references to egregore I've ever found.
So can you but Ursula all along? Why the reason she disappeared? Alright. Well, we can't go that way because we don't have a bliss crystal. So we have to go this way. But we do gain 2 bliss crystals, but by not going that way it locks off all that. That's fine. So Nora would have been annoyed at us if we'd gone the other way because we would not be getting information and we could have done something down here. Well, I'm happy with where we've gone. I think I mean, there could be some way down here that's crazy or whatever, but I feel like we've gone the right way. So asked Jade to use her network. She could help, but she might have her own problems. Jade seems more engaged now. Her body language less hostile, her expression more responsive. Now let her speak.
I'm not one for betting, but if I were, I'd bet this whole island that MK has their fingers in this pie.
Maybe you could...
Subtle hint. I mean, I was saying this Jade was some, I don't know, maybe she was the bad guy or whatever, like grass your mum up, but I don't think that's the case now.
Nora said you had a huge following. Online?
So we got to this point as well with her friends and stuff without going either way.
Did she?
Nora's enjoying this, I can tell.
Well, I wouldn't say huge. Sizable though, yeah.
Could you put the word out? Through the networks? Someone might know something. Might have seen something.
Alright.
My mother wasn't exactly an unknown quantity in Alma. Maybe someone saw her leave?
Jade immediately looks away, refuses to meet any of our
Well,
eyes.
that's tricky, isn't it?
It is?
Yeah, those networks. They're the lifeblood of Athena's resistance. If I go making them a fact-finding posse, well, MK's gonna shut that down quick as you like.
That's the excuse if I've ever heard one. She doesn't want to get involved. Yeah, because I guess she's an activist, isn't she? Alright, so we lose a bliss crystal, we gain 2 power crystals. We have a bliss crystal, we do. Gain 2 bliss crystals, we use the power crystal. So we can listen to Jade's plan. She won't talk. She won't talk now. You keep trying to push her own agenda. Power, you didn't give him a chance to fully explain himself, so he won't talk now. Who? Oh, Laszlo's plan. Approve Laszlo's plan. What was Laszlo's plan? I can't remember what it was. Printing posters, I think. She won't talk now. You keep trying to push your own agenda. Listen to Jade's plan. Alright, so if we do all that, we can go down there now, can't we? We've got a bliss crystal, so we could go down there. Nora gets impatient. Which she's expected a different Jade. One with more empathy, I can understand. This node is inevitable. It must be played to unlock other nodes. We have to do this node. So we have to do this one. This node is inevitable. So we had to go down here at some point. It doesn't look like we lose. If we go here, it doesn't look like we lose out on either of those yet. This one's inevitable. It doesn't block out this one. So maybe we go down here. Gives us a bond crystal. We have to do this one. We have to do it. It says it's inevitable. Listen to Jade's plan. Let's go down here, see what goes on. Nora gets impatient. Do we have to do this one? I'm just worried if we lose one of these now. No, don't know. Alright, let's do what happens. See what happens. Let's see what happens. Go on, Nora, do whatever you're doing. On the corner of my eye, I can see Nora standing frozen. Her usual electric fidgeting is stilled. Jade's up close now, arms crossed. Straight backed, every bit the investigative journalist. This isn't the badass Nora expected. As Jade continues to hammer her questions at us, I see Nora's shoulders set, her face turned down. She's not just disappointed, she's getting defensive. I don't really blame her, but this is a delicate conversation. Can we risk her getting on edge? Alright. So Nora's becoming a pain. Nora loses her cool. Nora's being clumsy, but all she wants is to connect with Jade. Have 2 bliss crystals. This is inevitable. It must be played to a lot of other nodes. Gain 1 bond crystal. We have to do all these anyway, so I don't really get it. I must say I'm not quite sure what's going on at the moment. I don't know why. Alright, well, we gain a bond crystal, 2 bliss crystals. We gotta do this apparently. It feels a bit like we're being driven. It feels like we've got loads of options in the game, but we're being driven specifically down a certain route. Nora strides forward.
Enough, alright, enough!
Uh-oh.
We've been going out of our minds with worry for days. We heard you might be the sort of person who'd want to help. Help when people are lost. But you're just digging for details. Is the story all you care about? We don't need that. Come on, Paul. If she's not going to help us, we'll find someone who will.
Jade's a stranger to us, and a journalist to boot. A hardened shell is practically her job requirements. But Nora's words have caught her off guard. She steps back, arms hanging loose at her side. This is all gubbins, isn't it? Oh, I mean, these are all inevitable, so what's the point of this down here? I don't get it. I don't get what the point is. None of this crosses off those bits. So yeah, I must say I'm not getting what's going on here. I don't get this side of the plan at all. I don't know. I'm not getting what the point of this bit on the right is, but this bit is just Jade's nonsense, okay, and this bit is presumably what we actually do. No, it's inevitable. So why has it got these crystals around the edge? I don't know. 3 bliss crystals. Alright. Alright, so this one we might not be able to do. So have 3 bliss crystals. Jade offers her help. This node is inevitable. We lose 2 bond crystals. Well, this one, Jade's confession. This node is inevitable. It must be played to unlock other nodes. Lose 2 bliss crystals. So if you lose 2 bliss crystals, we can't do that one. I don't think. It depends what we do here. Shush, Nora. No, don't let her upset Jade. Gain a bliss one. Right, let Nora speak. This node is inevitable. It must be played to unlock other nodes. Gain a bond crystal. So we gain a bond crystal. So we have to have 3 bliss crystals to do that. We could still do either of these by going over here. But it's too much now. I need a pen and paper to write down what we might do and not do. So basically, if we go to this one, we'll gain a bliss crystal. And then it's impossible to do this one. Jade's confession. Jade offers her help. Do we want Jade's confession? And if we get Jade's confession, we lose 2 bliss crystals. Which kind of puts us off doing this. Jade's confession. I'm not bothered about this Jade's help. I don't know why. I feel like I want the truth out of her. But basically, if we get that, we can't do this. Which is, let's keep it secret. You need to protect yourself and your loved ones first. Persuade Jade to network. She has strong ties to arms activist communities. This could help. Create a public scandal. People need to know about Ursula's disappearance. So we can either go covert and do all this stuff. We can get Jade to do the networky stuff. Let Nora speak. So that's kind of the way I'm going. So we'd lose the ability to keep it secret. So that's a big thing, isn't it? That's a big thing, that. So we're either going to go down to get Jade to do a network thing, or we create a public scandal. So that's kind of where we're going. I think we're going away from keeping it secret here. I think that's what we're going to lose if we let Nora speak. I feel like we want to let Nora speak because this Jade person's just a bit of a nonsense, isn't she? You know, we don't know who she is. All right, so we're kind of basically going away from keeping it a secret. You need to protect yourself and loved ones. I'm not keen on that idea. All right, so let's let Nora speak. See what happens. It's clear Nora has more to say, so I keep quiet. We've all been through the ringer of late. This might help relieve some pressure.
I knew I shouldn't have gotten so hyped. But who you are, what you do, you seem to be doing so much good around here. I really don't have words for it, so I thought, but I understand. I'm in no position to ask for more. Let's go.
Nora.
Jade's eyes have misted over. There are tears there, welling up at the edges.
Oh, shit. I didn't mean to... Oh, hell,
It's okay. It is. Don't worry about it.
The hard edge has evaporated almost completely. Jade wipes her eyes, then her nose.
The last few days, they've been a lot. Like, a lot. The last few months, even.
Something's going wrong here with Jade's life. So I think that's where we're going to go, find out what's going on.
Harder than anything I could ever imagine.
She looks up, trying to force her tears back down. Alright, so we get a confession now. So we could technically still go there, because we can gain bliss crystals that way. So we've got 2 power crystals. So basically, have 3 bond crystals. Lure Jade's confession. I think that's what we got to do. Jade offers her help. Oh wow, Nora's right. Confrontation was the best way to get through to Jade. Nora gave you an opportunity to learn more about Jade. I mean, she offers help, but we could technically still get her help anyway. Lose 2 bond crystals. So we don't... If we do go that way, where Jade offers her help... I don't get it. You know, we lose the bond crystals, so we can't do this one. Persuade Jade to network. Why do you want to get this confession? I don't know. Is it worth it? Are we bothered about a confession? Lose 2 bliss crystals. If we go that way, we then lose that option. If we go that way, we lose that option there. So basically, one or the other losing one of those. Create a public scandal. Do we want a public scandal? Why would we? I don't know if we need. Right. Jade offers to help. Let's get Jade's confession.
I'm sorry. Really. That was rude of me. Disrespectful. Not my intention.
No, please. It's all right. Really.
I've spent the last weeks, months actually, digging into MK's plan for this place, and I just can't take it anymore. They own everything. The systems, the records, the security. They roll over the vulnerable and suck up every resource they can. It's heinous. It's unfair. And I can't do anything to stop it. And no one gives a shit. Feels like it's just me out here sometimes, you know?
Her voice is tired. Her gaze evades ours. Even her hand gestures are wary. Jade's exhausted beyond imagination.
And I know that's not true, but it feels like it. I have people with me, sure. Friends, comrades, but it never stops. Now Ursula and... Yeah, it's all gotten a little much.
Alright, well she's
I'm sorry too.
For a moment, what if Nora might hug Jade, near stranger or not? From the way her arms lift, it looks like she wants to.
Guess I didn't realize I was so angry about everything. I think I'd feel the same in your shoes.
Jade actually smiles.
Thanks. It's just like...
But the smile goes away after a second.
I'd like to help if I can. I don't know if I'm good for anything at the moment.
Burnout's a hell of a thing.
Yeah, you could say that.
Alright. Okay, well there we go. So we got Jade's Trust. Got an achievement for that, got it quickly. We may as well, I guess, go one of these ways. Alright, so we can't do this one. No matter what we do, we don't have 3 bliss crystals. So we either want to get... So basically, if we want to do these down here, we have to go with power. Persuade Jade to network. This is the best way to reach Ursula without causing too much trouble. Or I could create a public scandal. You could have made a stronger impact. Do we go for public scandal or do we go for Jade's network? We can't do that one at all because we don't have a bliss crystal, so we have to do this one. We can't even do that because we don't have a bliss crystal to lose. Alright, so we can't do any of these now. Okay. Maybe I should have done then. So that means we have to do that then. I've kind of miscalculated, I think. I thought we could have done that. Alright, so we're forced to go down this way. So we got Jade's... Alright, yep. To be honest with you, I feel like that's probably the one. Let's keep it secret. I'm not too keen on this. Public scandal didn't really appeal to me. Alright, Bond we do. Jade's mouth tightens. She's made a decision.
Alright, I'll hit up my network.
Are you sure?
Yeah. It's still risky, but it's not like shouting the search from the rooftops. No offense.
None taken.
I feel like, I don't know, did I want to kill Lazarus? I don't know. I feel like maybe I did.
If MK cottons on, we've got a better chance of containing it if we know who knows what.
Alright.
It's our best option, for sure.
She looks at Nora and smiles warmly. Nora smiles back. Sounds like we have a plan. Oh, it's probably better than just posters, isn't it, I guess? Alright. Okay, something on your mind. Jade has more to say, especially to Nora. Alright. I kind of feel like maybe I did want to go down the power route here, but I feel like the decisions we made... well, they just made it. I feel like I wanted to make those decisions. Pretty Laszlo's plan. Alright. Maybe I didn't quite pick how I wanted, but I don't know. I kind of did and didn't. As it turns out, Jade lives near the Naiads, so we agreed to walk back together. For the first time I noticed what a beautiful day it is, the sun warming my skin, the breeze flicking at loose strands of my hair. We must meander through Alma, the four of us. It feels almost tranquil.
It's not easy for someone to go missing on this island. Everyone knows everyone and everything. Alma's a small world. A tight-knit community.
Alright, what have we got? Alma. Alma is a historic district of Athena known for its characteristic quaint houses and food. The original heart of the island, Alma is an open-air museum carefully protected by Mono Concern. The district was badly damaged by the 1898 earthquake and has slowly deteriorated. A colourful maze, Alma is a great place for a stroll through the past while admiring the beautiful glass towers of the business district. Fortunately for everyone, reconstruction projects are often delayed by a small group of anti-Mono Concern activists.
You'll find her. Problem is, you've got MK between where you are now and where you want to be. No way you're avoiding a tussle.
When I left Athena, Mono Concern was background noise, just a detail in our lives. Now they're a juggernaut, unchallenged, inescapable. I've realised I'm angry. Resentment burns in me each and every time I hear that name. We turn a corner and Knives floats into view. Nora crosses the path to walk alongside Jade.
Didn't mention it before, but I think I was approached by those MK goons you mentioned. The public health project guys?
Shit. Egregore and everything.
Yeah.
I wanted to give her that job or something. What's this the job she's talking about? Oh, there you go, yeah.
Listen, you didn't ask for it, but here's my advice. You see them coming again? You run. Or tell them to fuck off, or scream at them, or whatever. But do not take their money, Nora. I'm serious.
No, yeah, I wasn't going to.
I've heard rumours. People who came back the very opposite of healthy, and ones who never came back at all.
There have been other disappearances?
Hard to tell. People go missing all the time, especially the ones society pushes to its edge.
I can tell Jade's trying to sound reasonable. She's had to deal with so much.
Sometimes they just move on, change cities. There are rarely any records, but recently, a lot more people than normal have gone away, and most haven't come back.
But the ones who did come back?
Said they were given this egregore stuff, pills or injections, and that was it. Some got sick, others were fine, but no clarity of mind business.
Could this be the moment to tell the truth? What's going on here? Recently, a lot more people than normal have gone away and most haven't come back, but those who did come back were given this egregore stuff, pills, injections, that was it. Those got sick, others were fine. No clarity of mind business. Could this be the moment to tell the truth? No, not yet. Reverie is my burden to bear, for now. And how to bring us up the aspiration not sound like him having a stroke.
And bear that burden you shall.
And Power's not happy.
You must.
I try to know Power's voice. I don't start acting weird and lose what little trust we've built with Jade. Not for now. Jade gives us a nod and a wave as she heads into her building. As we turn to leave, Bliss appears alongside me. I smile at Nora and Laszlo as we walk along in companionable silence. And Bliss laughs.
Someone's been busy. Well, guess what? We've been busy too. You're not the only bunch investigating. Bond and Power and I have news.
You found truth?
Truth still clings to life,
Yep.
but they are beyond our reach alone. Even our own ties have been severed. But we are close. So very close.
They've got like an echo on the voices. It's slightly different for each of them.
Our world does not cease to be when you are not viewing it.
Well, I think Power doesn't.
It is imperative that you stabilize your home front quickly so that you may assist us in Reverie. Do whatever you must.
I'm trying.
We know. So, here's the plan.
Heard a
We
voice.
can clear
in
the
my
way
head.
to Truth Sanctuary, but after that, we'll have to summon you. Be ready.
Alright. Truth's the next thing. Alright, we did it. Okay, we did it. Got a load of bond crystals. This one, end of chapter. Right, well, interesting one there, guys. I think kind of went sort of how I wanted, but not quite. I don't know. I feel like I wanted to follow Laszlo's plan, but I also wanted to do what we did. And unfortunately, it kind of scuppered the ability to do Laszlo's thing. Yeah, we didn't listen to Jade's plan. Maybe we should have. I don't know. It didn't really matter in the end, I don't think. I think we kind of did things quick. We got an achievement for it, saying we got to Jade's thing quickly. I don't know what that means. Well, we just didn't. I don't know. Maybe we didn't. You know, if we'd done one of these no's, we wouldn't have got it. I don't know. But yeah, so interesting one. Not sure what to make of it. I think it kind of worked out. I think the plan we got is probably the right one. Keep it secret, public scandal. Don't know really. I think public scandal or do what we've done. But yeah. All right. Well, hope you enjoyed it, guys. We'll see where it goes next, I guess. So I'll see you next time for is it part 4? Yeah, part 4. I think it'll be, won't it? I'll see you then. Bye for now.